All right, well, welcome everyone to this really essential training here at Apex Labs. We're going to dive into something that's, well, it's one of the most critical parts of our success, standard operating procedures, or, as we all know them, SOPs. And let me tell you, understanding these is so much more than just a box-ticking exercise. It's truly the foundation of everything we do here.
So here's what we've got on tap. First, we're going to talk about the why behind SOPs, what makes them so important. Then we'll look at the life of an SOP here at Apex, from the moment it's written to when it's retired. After that, we'll get practical with a couple of case studies. What happens when things don't go perfectly to plan. And to wrap it all up, we'll zero in on the most important part, your role in making all of this work.
Okay, let's jump right in. Before we even get into the how of following an SOP, we've got to be absolutely crystal clear on the what and the why. Think of it as our blueprint for success for everything we do here at Apex. So, what is an SOP really? At its heart, it's a written document, the officially approved, standardized way to do a routine task. And its purpose? It sounds simple, but it's incredibly powerful. It's all about making sure that data we generate has the highest quality and integrity. You can think of it like a playbook for a sports team. It ensures every single one of us is playing the same game, using the same moves every single time.
And this is why they matter so much. SOPs are way more than just a list of rules. Honestly, they're kind of the antidote to scientific chaos. When we control variables and make sure everything is consistent, our research becomes reproducible. And that's the holy grail in science, right? That means our results are valid, they're reliable. Plus, they're an absolutely essential tool for training. It's how we make sure that every single person here is contributing to that high level of quality and integrity that defines Apex Labs.
Okay, so SOPs don't just magically appear, right? They have a life of their own. Let's pull back the curtain and take a look at the entire life cycle of an SOP here at Apex, from the moment it's created all the way to when it's retired.
This whole journey is a really tightly controlled loop. It all starts with a trained staff member, someone like you, drafting the procedure. But then, and this is absolutely non-negotiable, it has to be reviewed and approved by management. Once it's approved, bam, it's distributed. The current version is made available to everyone who needs it. Now, what if something needs to change? Same deal. Any revision needs that management approval, and a new version gets issued. And the last step is maybe one of the most important, archiving. All the old, superseded versions are kept safe. Why? So we can literally go back in time and reconstruct a study, knowing exactly how a procedure was performed on a specific day. It's critical.
Okay, theory is great, but let's get practical. Look, in a perfect world, we'd follow every SOP to the letter every single time. But we're human. We're not robots. Mistakes are going to happen. So the real question is, what do you do when things don't go according to plan? This is what we call an unplanned deviation. So I want you to really think about this for a second. Put yourself in this situation. You're in the lab, you're in the zone, and then that sinking feeling hits. You realize you've made a mistake. What do you do next? Because how you respond in that exact moment, it's absolutely critical. So let's paint a picture. Here's the scenario. You come into the lab in the morning, grab your coffee, and head to the fridge. And that's when you see it. A crucial sample for a study sitting in the refrigerator overnight. But the SOP clearly says it needed to be in the freezer. Ugh, a simple mistake, but a perfect example of an unplanned deviation.
Okay, so what do? Your first two actions are always document and communicate. I mean, immediately. Grab your notebook, write down exactly what happened, when it happened, everything you know. Then you go straight to the study director. The absolute worst thing you could possibly do is try to hide it or, fix it on your own without telling anyone. Don't do that. Open, honest, immediate communication is everything. Once you've done that, the study director takes over. They'll assess the impact on the study and figure out what the corrective actions need to be.
All right, so we've talked about when things go wrong by accident. But here's the thing. Not all deviations are mistakes. Sometimes, for a very specific study, we might need to intentionally do something different from the SOP. This is called a planned deviation, and as you can guess, it has its own strict set of rules. And this is a really fundamental principle you have to get your head around. An authorized study plan always takes precedence over a routine SOP. Think of it as a hierarchy. The specific plan for one study trumps the general procedure. This is how we build in the scientific flexibility we need. But notice the key word I keep saying, authorized. This isn't something you decide on your own. The change has to be officially approved before you do anything. So here at Apex, there are two approved ways to make this happen. The best way? The primary method is for the study director to detail the new procedure right there in the authorized study plan, before the study even starts. But if that can't happen, then a separate document has to be created and authorized by the study director, again, before the change is made. Are you sensing a theme here? The magic word is before. You can't authorize a planned deviation after you've already done it. That's not a planned deviation, that's an unplanned one.
And let's be really clear about something. A planned deviation is a big deal. It's not a casual thing. Why? Because we train ourselves to follow the SOPs almost like muscle memory. So when we introduce a temporary change, we're actually introducing risk. It takes great care, it often means extra training, and it absolutely requires crystal clear communication to make sure everyone involved does this one-time change exactly the way it was intended.
Which brings us right to our final section, and honestly, it's the most important one. We're talking about your personal role in all of this, because upholding the quality we're known for at Apex Labs, well, that's not just a job for management, it is a responsibility that every single one of us shares.
So what does this actually mean for you when you walk into the lab tomorrow? It means you need to know which SOPs apply to your work, and you need to know them inside and out. It means making sure you have access to the current version, not an old one you printed out last year. It means you follow the instructions in the SOP and the study plan. You record your data right away and you do it accurately. And just like we talked about, you document and communicate any deviation, planned or unplanned, immediately. Because at the end of the day, the bottom line is this: you are responsible for the quality of your own data.
So I really want you to try and shift your thinking if you need to. SOPs are not about restrictive rules designed to make your life harder. Not at all. Think of them as your tools for success. They are the tools that empower you to do great work. Work that's consistent, reliable, and meets those incredibly high scientific standards that we're all so proud of here at Apex.
So I'm going to leave you with a question to take with you. As you finish this training and go back to your work today, ask yourself, how will I ensure quality and integrity in what I'm doing? Not tomorrow, not next week, but right now, today. Because ultimately, the success of this entire facility depends on your answer. Thanks so much for your attention.